happen is this is going to end up here. Oops. So a neighbor friend of mine gave me this old Craftsman table saw, Cooper saw. So I thought I would try and cut the length of this with it. I've never used this before, so I don't know how good the blade is, but I guess we'll find out if it starts too. There's the final piece. We'll go try that out. That'll work. It'll stay. Feels like it will. At least for the moment. Sure it's gonna fit. Yeah, we're gonna fit. see here. I think this went like that. Yeah. I think that's very doable. All right, so this has been something I've been wanting to get done all summer, is getting this thing sighted. I do need to do the box, and then I'll save the gables for next year, because I still got to go in the inside and build up the gables. I didn't know if I was going to put windows in up there or not, so I left them just no support other than a center support to hold a ridge beam, so that when I had pressure from these, that I didn't have those pushing out and pushing my walls out. So it's very well supported roof. I am going to do the next roof differently. Haven't completely worked out the details, but I have looked at many builds at the way people do things, and I'm going to do something different. Every build that I do is going to have something done differently. It's going to also be sided differently. It's going to be sided board and batten if I hadn't said it already. So roof is not going to be metal on the next one, or the one after that, or the one after that. That stuff costs money, so I'd rather make my own stuff from the materials at hand on my land. And I have 40 acres of trees, so I've got a lot of trees that need thinned out anyway. So in my frame of mind is, as I go around, I'm keeping in mind they're too close together and thinning them out, making a healthier forest. So that's kind of the game plan, is making use of the wood other than firewood, but I'm doing firewood too. So anyhow, we'll get on to this. I gotta trim this box out. I'm going to do probably 1.5 inch trim on the box itself, and then I'll start siding it with more siding materials. I've still got a lot of it left, and I'll get that all sided, and then I'll be done with that. I just got to come finish over here on the side and then wrap around here. I got to put a clear protective coating on them, so I'm keeping it clear, but the stuff does get a little dark. It will darken it, and it will get a little bit of a yellow tint to it over time because of course, sun. This is the north side of the building, so it gets the least amount of light or sunshine, pretty much none, because I'm heavily treed over that way. This is lightly treed this way, so that's kind of why it built over here, is to get sunshine in. And then I've got all my forest back this way. A bit of forest out here too, but not much. I mean, really, I wouldn't put a box in like this if it wasn't for the shower that I had that stopped working. Had it kept working, this would have stayed a box for that. But it'll still act as a medicine cabinet It'll give me storage space for some bathroom supplies and whatnot. So what I got to do is I got to cut some wood to fit in here, 2 boards. I do the same at the top. And then I've got siding I've got to cut to fit between all these. Now to get the blood back in my arm. All right. That's good enough for poor man's labor. That modification, let's see if this works. I think it'll be doable still. Originally it was right there. Looks like it'll still work like that. Let's try this. Okay, it's solid. So what's going to happen is this is going to end up here. I'm not going to do it right today, but it's basically a rain and snow guard. So that's how it's going to go. But I want to go ahead and stain everything first. So I'm going to go ahead and wait to do that for later, and I'll get on staining. I got to finish this other wall, then I'll come over and start on this wall first so I can get this finished as soon as possible. That way rains that get on there won't mess it up. And it may rain. It looks cloudy today. Thank you for watching my video this week. I really appreciate it. Yes, I was working on this cabin here, which is my cabin I built last year, and I still need to do some work to it. So a little at a time, I'm trying to complete it. It is tough for me to want to complete it because I want to work on the other cabin, but I can't go and leave a bunch of projects not done. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to complete this as much as I can right now, and then next summer, hopefully this winter I'll have cut down, like I said, some trees that are pretty knot free that I can make more shingles from, because I don't have enough shingles to complete the job, so I just didn't want to start it. And one of the main things that has to be done next year is I want to get those shingles on the gable ends, get them done. This cabin will be completed then, as far as I'm concerned, what I'm going to do to it. Eventually I'm going to replace the front door on it, because the door had shrunk. So I got some, it also warped because of the heat. And I have a loft in there just above the door, so it trapped the heat up high. And by doing that, the last winter, it caused that door to actually warp inward. So it doesn't completely close and seal like it did when I first put it up. So also, like I said, it shrunk a little, which was bound to happen because I didn't have wood sitting around for a couple years. So before I put another door together, I'm going to let wood actually cure for a good length of time so it stabilizes and is done with its shrinking. And then I'll start putting that together. So in some of my projects, I got to kind of just plan ahead and do that. I do have a door I built probably 4 years ago as a practice door while I was still not off grid. I went and bought the wood. It's pine. I bought it from Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those two places. And I've got that. I brought it with me. It's stable. It's too tall for this entrance. So what I might do when I build this cabin over here is I actually might use it as the front door over there, because it's a nice looking door too. It's not nearly as nice looking as this one, but it's nice and it's usable. So, and it's stable too. So it'll make that cabin have an instant good closure. Another thing I want to build next year that you guys might be interested in is a screen door. I want to build a screen door for this because it gets really hot in the summer here, and it's nice to be able to leave that thing open since I don't have air conditioning. And so I'm going to make a screen door, and hopefully I've got enough scrap wood around to make that with. I've got the screen already. I've just been waiting to let wood cure for a good long time. And I think I have some wood that's probably a couple years old that I can utilize. So anyway, this is it for the week. I'll start off next week doing a little bit of work on this on the next video, and then hopefully I'll be moving on to digging post holes to add the addition to the other foundation. And from there, I got to start drawing up plans. I got to lay out the floor plan, figure out where I'm going to eventually plumb, because I want to go ahead and get the ditches pre-dug and probably get some pipe and stuff and get it pre-laid so it's ready to go up through the floor. And that way I don't have to go underneath. It'd be impossible to dig under there anyways with joist in there and everything. So before I put the joist in, I want to get that all planned out, drill for wiring to go through for the solar power, and possibly even as I put up the walls, I might even set it up for wiring, to wire it in case I want to get a home connection set up and put in there so I can run it from the solar generators. So I got a lot of ideas. Of course, I'm not going to use a solar generator on my main cabin up there. I'm actually going to build my own solar system when I get to that point, and I got to research it more before I do it. I've researched it off and on over the years, but I need to do more. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.